innovative economy. This government can't do it.
I call the honourable member Nikki Wagner.
With all the conflict and economic gloom and doom around the world right now, I'm really glad to be a Kiwi. Yes, we've had tough times in the last few years. We've had a global financial crisis, the Pike River disaster, the Canterbury earthquakes, all 11,000 of them, and the Rena spill. But despite the negativity of the opposition, actually, we've coped pretty well. New Zealanders are resilient. They're adapting to change, they're making the most of every situation, they're working hard to move forward, and we're getting results. I'm glad to be a Kiwi because we're made of the right stuff. We're smart, educated, innovative people. We live in a beautiful, clean, green environment. We have a stable, and I must say, excellent national government, and we have prudent financial management. Economically, most of the world is far worse off than us. The Eurozone's in a meltdown, the US is just treading water, and even China was affected last week, dropping its interest rates to stimulate its economy. Unemployment is rife across the world. We're looking at 24% in Spain, and worse still, 50% of young Spaniards are out of work. Right across Europe, it's about 11% unemployment, and it was interesting to hear the Honourable Winston Peters talk about Nazi Germany, because frighteningly, the economic stats coming out of Europe right now are very similar to those of the 1930s. Both Britain and the US have over 8% unemployment, and so has Canada. But in New Zealand, although our unemployment rate is still hovering around 6%, our job growth strategies are working. The rate has been coming down consistently since early 2010, and job numbers are growing. But the most significant thing that most Kiwis seem to understand financial risk, and they're adapting well to the global economic uncertainty. Households and businesses alike are cutting costs, they're reducing waste, and many are even managing to save. And this government is doing the same thing. We're determined to keep our debt down, to deliver more and affordable, effective services, and develop a more productive and efficient economy. And we're getting results here too. With interest rates the lowest that we've seen for years, something that affects every New Zealander, and growth in 9 out of the 10 last quarters. In fact, we're forecast to grow even faster in the next 3 years than Europe, Britain, Japan, US and Canada. We're even expected to match Australia's growth. And when you think of Australia, the lucky country with one of the best performing economies in the OECD, if we're close to them, we're doing well. I'm also glad to be a Kiwi because we're living in the right part of the world. 60% of our exports is going to Australia or Asia, and they're the most vibrant and thriving regions in the world. The government and Tim Grosser is focusing on new trade agreements in the Asia-Pacific region that will give us new markets. We're investing in innovation and new technologies, and we're increasing funding in engineering, science and research. So what we're doing is building on our strengths because that's where our future lies. And I'm glad to be a Kiwi because we're developing a more sustainable economy. Tourism and agriculture are predicated on a clean, green environment, and New Zealanders are absolutely focused on making sure that we look after it. The government is investing in clean-ups. The Land and Water Forum is looking at water issues. There's toughened standards from patera and dairy companies, and all that will improve our water quality and help our waterways. But I'm really interested in the new environmental friendly businesses that are flourishing. At the Green Ribbons Awards last week, we heard about companies like EcoStock, a company that's turning waste that would normally go to landfill into valuable animal food. We heard about Carbon Zero, a Canterbury company that's helping countries or companies all around the world to cut their carbon emissions. We heard about the wineries that claim that their global competitive advantage is being from environmentally friendly New Zealand, and a host of other innovative and sustainable products. But most of all, I'm glad to be a Kiwi because I'm from Christchurch.
Sorry. Yeah, it was time to ring the bell, so there we go. And it's Dr. Kennedy.
Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.